Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, if you're joining us on Facebook, this is Janelle here. I'm with my photog Sergio. We just got to downtown, the area where the protesters are marching. You can see a line of police right here. They are just beyond that other line. They have walked all the way down Jefferson here, and then they stopped for a little bit. They're chanting for a little bit, and now we're walking again. I've heard reports that we're headed towards the Harris County Sheriff's Office. Earlier they said they were headed towards the police department. We're just following them right now. They're chanting, holding signs. Quite a lot of people here. And then if you look behind us, there is a lot of cars behind us also showing support, honking their horns, just kind of being in solidarity with everyone here. But they'll walk for a little bit and then stop, kind of like we are here. They're at this intersection right now. Police are telling us to get on the sidewalk. As you can see, they're just kind of stopped right now in the middle of the intersection. Right now we are at Jefferson and LaBranch. So a lot of these people began marching at Emancipation Park earlier today. They marched from here to downtown, and then they moved over to City Hall. And now they made their way to this intersection. If you can't hear them, they're now chanting, "I can't breathe." Trying to give you guys a little bit of a better angle here. We are keeping our distance, trying to stay out of the way of both the marchers and the police. It's been pretty peaceful so far. You know, there were a few firecrackers that went off a while ago. What do you think, Sergio? Pretty peaceful so far? So far. Yeah, fireworks definitely got me. Because you can see lots of police out here.
HPD downtown is kind of a fortress.
Sorry?
HPD downtown. It's kind of a fortress right now.
Yeah, it's a bit of a fortress for sure. If we drove by the headquarters a while ago, and there was a lot of police outside waiting in case anything were to happen. Now they're turning the corner here. It looks like they're going down LaBranch. Quite a few people out here. I'd say a few hundred. Some of the marchers are staying in the intersection. Sorry. You can see some of them are sitting in the middle of the intersection. Some of them did start walking down LaBranch. I'd say about half. Police asking them not to block the streets, telling them to keep moving.
not block the roadway. Keep moving. Do not block the roadway. Keep moving.
I do want to warn you guys, this is live, so we apologize for any profanity that you may hear or see. We'll try to avoid that if we can.
They got them blocked in. Back up.
You're interfering with police operation. You've been given notification on video. Get out of the street. Get out of the street.
They're asking this
Do it now.
man right here to get out of the street. That's who.
He's received 5 notices.
Here comes police. I think they might.
Get off the street or you will be arrested. You have been warned. You have been warned. Get off the street or you will be arrested. Protesters at the intersection. Get out of the intersection or you will be arrested.
I think there were about.
They got them cornered. So
They got him cornered. Oh, right here. It looks like a lot of the marchers came back.
Just keep it moving or you will be arrested. You have been warned.
Egress behind you. Okay. Egress go that way or go that way?
Okay.
Towards the Toyota Center.
Now he's evading arrest.
They're now arresting that man. If you're just watching, police asked this guy to leave the street and move onto the sidewalk, but he didn't listen, so they have arrested him. Looks like the protesters are back in the intersection. I was trying to look up a number for you guys. I think there was about 130, 140 arrests last night. We did a story about the vandalism. Quite a few businesses had glass broken. Oh, are they looking? It looks like protesters are now starting to run down La Branch.
that's going in there.
Yeah. This man right here is getting arrested. They're asking people to stay back. We're gonna back up with them, try and get out of the way. There's two lines of police. There's the one right here, and then there's one further back. That arrest was the first we've seen since we've got here, but we've only been here for about 15 minutes now, so I'm not sure if they had any more before him. But like I said last night, I know there was over 100 people arrested. Looks like the police line is moving, so we're gonna follow behind. Quite a few people wearing masks.
Hey! They stay in our neighborhood. Don't y'all get it twisted. Motherfucking fast tank protection holes at home.
Let's see where we're headed. We are going down La Branch right now. I think we're headed towards Peace Street.
That's your lifeline. That's your
There's police in front of us, gathered, and then there's a line ahead of them, and then there's a line of police coming behind us. Sergio. We're gonna try and get out of their way here. Some police are coming back this way. Some more police walking back this way. There is still a line down there at St. Joseph. We're gonna follow the police here. I'm not sure where the marchers went. That might be where we're headed now. We've kind of stayed behind the police line just to not get in their way. keep our distance. Here you can see, these are all the vehicles that were parked behind the protesters as they walk down the street. A lot of police vehicles too. Going to Travis. Travis and what, do you know? You guys are just joining us. We're at Jefferson and Austin. We're following the protesters that started at Emancipation Park earlier today. They made their way to downtown. They went over to City Hall and then they came down Jefferson. It looks like Caroline. All right, Caroline and Jefferson now. Still lots of marchers. They've looked like they've dispersed a little bit, but all headed in the same direction. Oh. Crossing the street here. So it looks like they are now headed down Caroline here. You can see there's a big group gathering behind us over there. There's a large police presence behind us, kind of gathered but not formed in a line. Hi guys, how are you? Sure.
No cussing.
Oh, no,
No
I'm
cussing.
gonna just keep it real on what they
Okay,
did.
I'd love to hear from you.
11. Let me say what?
I said I'd love to hear from you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, walk with us as we go. So what's your name? Tell me your name first.
Sharif Hall.
Okay, and tell me, are you from Houston?
I'm born in Louisiana, but I've been in Houston my whole life.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about why you wanted to be here today.
Well, that's the thing. Just for the simple fact, people think this is just for Floyd, and it's not just for Floyd. You know, every time something happens, somebody's like, you know, we need to get together. We need to do something. We need to march. We need to come together. We come together, but what happens, they let the police lead us on a peaceful protest. We were already peaceful, but the police led us. They didn't let us choose our route. So we were basically coached the whole time. If you're gonna give out, if the police gonna give out water and let us determine where we protest, you're not supposed to coach us. Let us do us, because that means you're in control of the narrative the whole time, especially with us being peaceful.
Sure, I have noticed you guys have been, it has been very peaceful here tonight. And last night as well, in the beginning, were you here last night?
Yes.
And so tell me, so what would you like to happen? To let them just follow you? What's your message?
The thing is we should be able to lead our own protests. We shouldn't be controlled by the police if we're peaceful. Nobody destroyed anything. All we were doing, we're chanting, uplifting our people, uplifting ourselves, and they still control the narrative the whole time. So I want us to be able to control our protests, especially with it being peaceful.
Absolutely. So do you feel like you guys are getting that tonight?
We're not. I mean, basically the way it went, the police should have just said on the news, hey, meet us here, follow us, we'll show y'all where to walk, because that's exactly what they did.
Yeah.
And that's not a protest, that's just a gathering with the police.
So for the people who haven't been marching alongside you guys, tell me, how has it been, how does that work? So do they step in front of you? Do they tell you, no, go this way? How does that work? How have they been
as far as the
impeding?
public, the goal is to not be pushed in a certain way. Long as we keeping it peaceful, we're going wherever we want to go to show our support for the injustice that's been going on. But as far as how we determine where we go, we want to stay in a specific area.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm upset, because the police chief was being nice and people didn't realize all he did was walk us out of our area. All he did was walk us straight out of downtown, when that was supposed to be our area to walk in. But people, we want the cops to be okay with us, to treat us well. So the police chief knew what he was doing. He acted nice, so that way the majority can say, oh, he's cool, let's follow him. But he took us off of our route.
I see.
Divide and conquer.
So what was the original route?
Downtown streets. And now majority of everybody is down by Emancipation Park. Out of 1,000 people, there's probably 200 people downtown now, because the chief split us up.
Did you start, and you started in Emancipation Park, right?
Some of us did. I started downtown.
Okay. And so, do you know where you were going to end up at?
We were going to end downtown.
Just anywhere downtown?
Yeah.
And then you felt that, and then you said that you eventually it was like you were getting led out of downtown?
We 100% got led downtown, but people didn't realize it.
Oh,
Again, they thought that the police chief was being nice just to be nice, but he was doing it so they can follow him.
So what do you want to say to the chief of police? If he's listening to this right now, what would you say to him?
Well, you want a peaceful protest, and if it is a peaceful protest, let it go the way it's supposed to go. Don't dictate how we protest. That's just, like I say, that's just like you sending a message out to us, hey, come meet with the police and chill with us. We don't want to chill with you. We want to let off steam. We don't need you to lead us if we're being peaceful.
Well, thank you for talking to us and for sharing your frustrations. I can understand that, absolutely. So tell me, do you know where we're headed now?
I don't. I'm just following like I say, the plan was just to stay downtown. So since we still have about 25% downtown, we're just following and making our rounds around the downtown area.
I see. So this was a much bigger group, you're saying? Because we just got here about 30 minutes ago.
Yes, it was probably about 1,000 plus, and now because the police chief purposely split us up without most of the people knowing, that 1,000 is now maybe 250.
Really? So I know you guys are marching with people all over the nation, and I think there's some people watching us right now on Facebook. What do you want to tell those people?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Protest how you want, because you can't let people dictate how you let out your anger. But don't kill people during the protests that are involved with the protests. if you have anger towards what's going on, get your message across before you do anything stupid, basically.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me. So what part of Houston are you in?
Southeast.
Southeast? And how long have you lived here?
My whole life, since I was maybe 10.
Very cool. What do you do now?
I'm in the medical field.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Awesome. So what do you do in the medical field?
Well, I don't want to give all that information.
Oh, all right.
but-
I guess so. I'm just like, oh, okay,
No,
let's
but
talk.
I appreciate you asking.
No, yeah, of course. Yeah, we're just walking down this way. So we're trying to see, what do you think? What do you think? Are they going to gather up here, you think, at some point?
Well, the thing is, so I'm going to be honest with you. So majority of us are upset because they didn't realize the police chief split us up.
Ah.
So now it's just walking just to walk.
Okay.
Because it's like, you tried to run us out of here, we're going to stay.
Yeah. Do you anticipate the others joining you at some point?
No, because again, they followed the police chief back towards Emancipation Park without
Oh,
knowing
I
that's
see.
what he was doing.
I see. So where did y'all get split up at?
Huh?
Where did you get split up at?
It was on the side of, or on the back side of the Toyota Center, pretty much.
Oh, okay. So that was earlier?
About an hour ago.
Okay. Who do you have with you?
Oh, so this is my brother.
How
Hi.
you doing?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm
Hi.
Ted. You know, this whole situation is crazy. All of this probably could have been avoided if they just did what they were supposed to do when it happened. And not only that, the charge they gave him was just minimal. And all that's gonna do is add fuel to the fire. That's all it's gonna do. And they don't understand that, you know, they speak on the black on black crime, but when black on black crime happens, we get life in jail. You know, it's like, you're not getting out of that charge. No way, you're not gonna get a 10-year sentence and only have to do 1-2 years and be on papers for the rest.
Unless you have a badge.
It's not fair. So at this point, people telling us it's different ways to do it. We should do it this way. We should do it that way. We've done it in every way. Kaepernick kneel. We do peaceful protests, everything. No anger, no violence. Now when it's violence, they don't understand where it comes from.
Yeah. So what's the solution? Do you know?
It's not really a solution in it. Everything with the justice system needs to be reformed.
Sure.
It has to be completely reformed, and everything, the training, everything about it has to be changed, because if not, we're just going to go through this revolving door of the same incidents over and over, and it's just not going to stop. And the only way it's going to change is if the police force around America and wherever else it may be happening at really look at themselves in the mirror and fix that from the inside out. Other than that, it's going to be the same thing. You can't ask us to hold ourselves accountable for all our crimes, and they don't hold themselves accountable for their crimes. And that's pretty much the basis of it.
I think that you're very well spoken, and thank you for talking to me and sharing to me how you feel. I know this is insane circumstances, and you guys are out here just trying to share what you believe, and I appreciate you taking some time to talk to me about it.
No problem at all. Thank
What
you
was
for
your
being
name
out
again?
here. It's Ted.
Ted?
Yes.
Awesome. Nice to meet you. You from Houston too?
Yes, I'm from Houston.
Very cool. I could chit chat with you guys all day, but they're probably going to yell at me here pretty soon.
I already know.
He's left me
Yeah.
behind. It was very nice to meet you guys.
You too.
Okay, y'all be safe, okay? Sorry, guys. My photographer is leaving me behind, though. I hope he can hear me. I'm trying to run up to him. So,
All police on that bus.
so we're at Leland
That's a jump out
in
boy.
Milam, and you can see they are marching ahead of us. I'm gonna run. It's my exercise for today. They are marching ahead of us. The gentleman back there was telling me that they had a much bigger group earlier and they got split up kind of near Toyota Center. It looks like there's quite a big gathering up here, coming up to Bell. and Milam. Oh no! Uh-oh, dropped some water. So a lot of these people have been marching since around 3 o'clock this afternoon. Like the gentleman said, a bunch of them started in Emancipation Park. As you've seen, guys, it's been quite peaceful so far. We saw one guy get arrested earlier, and there's some firecrackers that went off, but that's about all that's happened so far. There's quite a few police officers up here on our right. Are we approaching headquarters? Okay, yeah, we're approaching police headquarters downtown. When we were here earlier, there was a heavy police presence surrounding the building, and in the parking lot, you can see some of them up here ahead of us. Looks like they are spreading out right now. We're gonna try and stay out of their way here. We're gonna get behind them over here. As you can see, there's a lot of police cars, DPS here. So we're at Polk and Milam right now, standing behind a police line.
Block that traffic on the bridge.
okay.
water?
I'm okay. Thank you. Sounds like they're going on the freeway. Is that what they said? Some people might be making their way onto the freeway right now. Sounds like they're heading back towards City Hall. We're gonna walk towards the front of HPD headquarters. We heard on the police scanners that they were walking towards Tranquility Park by City Hall. As you can see, police have barricades around the entire department here. They had a line of police officers standing behind it earlier. Oh, they still do on that side. Just gonna get out of the way here. Police have that street blocked off, so they're not letting anyone down it. A long line of police behind a barricade here at the headquarters.
The group was going north on Smith. They're making a turn east on Rusk. I can't tell you right now. So they're going west on Rusk. Bus 14, just FYI, we are going at the tail end of Smith.
As you guys can see, quite the heavy police presence here. Yesterday, there was also a rally down here for about 11 hours. Police say 137 people were arrested, mostly for obstructing a roadway. There were a few who were arrested on assault of a police officer and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He says 8 officers were injured and 16 police vehicles were damaged. So far, we haven't seen, it's been pretty peaceful here so far. We haven't seen any of that. We saw one guy get arrested for not moving out of the roadway, as police had told him to. But it has been pretty quiet from what we've seen.
Okay, good. Okay. You get a snack?
And earlier today there were quite a few events that were held. I know there was a walk and a vigil at Jack Yates High School. The Jack Yates alumni of 1993 gathered to honor Floyd's memory. They wore shirts in their colors, in the Yates colors. And then the march at Emancipation Park, that's where a lot of these protesters walked here from. Some of them said they joined them downtown. You want to walk? I'm sorry?
Let's go down to the corner, check the corner.
Okay, we're going to go down the corner. Hello, how are y'all? Are those, is that because of the last night?
I don't know. Back to spring.
That's where they are.
Vehicle not involved. That has exit 45. I need to get back on 45. I'm at McKinney and Magny. I'm going to send it down to you. So you guys get back on that board.
Guys, y'all gotta go that way. Y'all cannot be back right now. Move that way. Keep going. Saw maybe a couple hundred. If I see anybody with the group, I'll try to sit there.
Check the traffic. 163 is the city. Hey, Thomas, we got the white van. We're at yeah, I'm pretty sure he's still in there. Be prepared on Main Street last night when they started busting the windows. Be prepared. So, you guys, they were on Main. Unit behind, right on both the east side and west side of Main. So, get ahead of them. Try to block them in.
Northbound towards the courthouse.